If your child with ADHD has ever done things like threaten to hurt themselves, hold up knives to themselves, or threaten to jump out a window or run away when you say no or set a boundary, I know how terrifying that is. You're not just overwhelmed, you feel trapped. And when you're scared for your child's safety, everything else goes out the window. You're probably asking yourself, should I give in? What if I ignore this and something happens? I want you to hear clearly, this behavior is not about intent to harm themselves, it's a protest. An extreme way of saying, I'm angry, I'm not getting my way, or I'm not in control. This is rooted in difficulty with cognitive flexibility, one of the core executive function skills that many kids with ADHD struggle with. They have trouble moving on when they don't get their way, and many become highly resourceful at using emotional blackmail with their parents by making self-harming statements or gestures. Kids with ADHD, especially those who haven't learned how to tolerate frustration, often go to the most dramatic language they can think of to get control back. That doesn't mean you dismiss it. It means you respond with a plan, not panic. Before I walk you through the plan, I need to remind you that if you are ever genuinely concerned for your child's safety, call emergency services or take them to the nearest emergency room immediately. These are covered more in depth in Scaffolding Better Behavior, my parent behavior training program. Step 1, take a firm stance. You don't argue, you don't panic. You say something like, I know you're upset, I'm not going to respond when you do this. I'll talk with you when you're ready to speak safely. Then you walk away if needed. This isn't abandonment, it's called de-escalation. You are removing yourself from a power struggle your child is trying to escalate. That's how you hold your ground without yelling, giving in, or reinforcing the behavior. You've probably heard emotionally appealing slogans like connection before correction. But the research is very clear. When you give behaviors like self-harm threats your undivided attention or an emotionally reactive response, you're reinforcing the effectiveness of those behaviors and they continue. Step 2, make a clear plan. You don't wait for this to happen again, you make a plan during calm, not chaos. Part of that plan is deciding how you'll respond differently moving forward, whether that's disengaging and not giving attention or taking them to the hospital if you believe they're truly unsafe. You'll disengage, you won't negotiate, you'll follow through on the plan you've created. Step 3, enlist supporters. Supporters are people your child respects, people they likely wouldn't want knowing about this behavior. That might be a grandparent, aunt, uncle, or a trusted family friend. Supporters don't need to be local, they can speak to your child by phone, FaceTime, Zoom, or in person. Even if your child won't talk to them, they can still talk, you just put your phone on speaker. When we enlist supporters, it lets your child know that these behaviors won't be kept a family secret. People they respect are going to reach out and support them when they make self-harm statements or gestures. Supporters are never used as a threat. No, you better stop or I'll call grandmom. And they're never there to scold your child, they only offer support. When my son was younger, while he didn't make threats of self-harm, he would regularly become destructive when he didn't get his way. After those incidents, my father would contact him as his supporter, and I'd leave the room so he didn't feel like I was monitoring their conversation. Please note that many parents want to jump to this step without doing the rest, but these steps all work together. They're not meant to be used in isolation. Step 4, the announcement. This is a letter you write to your child explaining the changes you will make in response to their behavior. You are not asking your child to change anything. It's how you communicate that you have a plan and have enlisted others to support them when they're struggling. The letter starts by naming your child's great qualities and what you love about them. You take responsibility for allowing the behavior to continue. You do not blame them or ask them to change, but you explain what you will be doing differently. You read this letter at a calm time. If your child refuses to listen, you have copies where they can't avoid them. On their bed, on the refrigerator, in their room. You can use example announcement letters in the membership site's downloadable section to help you. You're not asking for permission, you're making a declaration. This is your leadership as a parent. Calm, clear, and firm. Step 5, enact the plan consistently. This is the most important step and the hardest. You hold your line every time, calmly, firmly, and without guilt. Yes, your child may escalate at first. That's normal. This is why I tell families things sometimes need to get worse before they get better. But you stay steady. That's how they learn this doesn't work anymore. And over time, they stop using it. The most important thing I want you to hear is this. When you follow this plan, your child starts developing real emotional regulation skills. Change doesn't come from long talks about feelings or emotional processing. It comes from consistent, calm adult leadership. That's exactly what we teach in Capable and Confident and Scaffolding Better Behavior, the ADHD Dude Parent Behavior Training Programs. Learn more at ADHDdude.com. You don't need to parent from fear anymore. You need a plan, and you can start building that today. Thanks for watching.